Now our topic is web browser. All of us use web browsers, but we most of us do not know what is the meaning of web browser because whenever we buy a computer or mobile phone to open any website or any other purposes, the facilities of these web browsers and other applications is already inbuilt or is already installed by the seller in the computers or mobile phones. So we normally do not have the knowledge or do not have to care about these application softwares. So let us learn more about web browser. A web browser is an application software for accessing websites. A web browser acts as interface between the user and the World Wide Web. Your browser communicates with the web server. You can see here that the web browser is communicating with web server to bring you information from the internet. When a URL is entered in a browser, that is the whenever we enter the web address in the web browser, the web server takes us to that website. The purpose of a web browser is to fetch the content from World Wide Web or from local storage and display it on a user's screen. Whenever you open the computer, you have to enter some address on the left hand upper side, and that particular address which you have to enter is called web address. You can have more than one browser on your computer at a time. Web servers communicate with many browsers on many computers all at the same time. It means that suppose one web browser has made the request to the web server. It is not that the web server will answer that web browser only. If there is another request from another web browser from some other file and some other web server from another file, then the web server will also at the same time give reply to other web browsers. So the web server is in a position communicate with many web browsers at the same time. Now comes what are the examples of web browsers? The most common used web browser is Google Chrome, and it has about 65% market share as per the information available with us. However, it may change with the passage of time. Apple's Safari browser, which was introduced in 2015, has 18% market share. Now, the Microsoft Edge, which is the default web browser on Windows 10 and 11 computers. Now, this is the Mozilla Firefox. This is the fourth most popular web browser, desktop browser. Browsers are used on a range of devices such as desktops, laptops, tablets, smartphones. In 2020, an estimated 4.9 billion people used a browser. During the course of browsing, cookies received from various websites are stored by the browser. Most browsers have common user interface features such as they allow the user to open multiple pages at the same time. You can see here plus point here also. This is the Microsoft browser. This is Google's browser. In the case of Microsoft Edge, you can see here that this is the plus point here. You can open more pages by clicking here. Another feature of most browser is back and fast and back and forward buttons. In the case of Google Chrome, backward button and forward buttons are there. But in the case of Microsoft Edge, only backward button is there and forward button is not there. These buttons are there to go back to the previous or forward pages as we have opened. Now there is another button which is called a refresh button. You can see here that this is the refresh button and this is the stop button to reload or cancel the loading of the current page. An address bar is there to input the URL of a page. You can see here that this bar is address bar. A web browser is not the same thing as a search engine, though the two are often confused. A search engine is a website that provides links to other websites. However, to connect to a website server and display its pages, a user must have a web browser installed. Examples of search engines are Google, Bing, Yahoo, and examples of web browsers which we have already discussed are Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Apple Safari, etc. Web browsers are popular targets for hackers who exploit security holes to steal information, destroy files, and other malicious activities. Browser vendors regularly patch these security holes, so users are strongly encouraged to keep their browser software updated. Other protection measures which we can use are antivirus software and avoiding malicious websites. That is, we should not open those websites which appear to be malicious or which are known malicious websites or which normally open with HTTP because these are not secure websites. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.